Letter T-A-I-W-A-N. This is a question about Taiwan. The health and safety of Canadians depends on an effective, internationally coordinated response to coronavirus.
We believe that Taiwan's role as an observer in World Health Assembly meetings is in the best interest of the international health community.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Wes Davies, and welcome back to another video. This one is going to be a little bit different than the videos I've been making recently, because now it's been almost 10 months since the world became aware of the virus that would sweep the globe, impacting the world economy, altering our travel plans, our work plans, all of our plans, really, and truly devastate the lives of so many people all around the world. I'm talking about, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic, the thing that has completely changed our global culture in this year, 2020. It's affected everyone. I've made 3 videos about this subject already, titled Taiwan Can Help, Taiwan Is Helping, and The New Normal, which I will link right down below. But I released those videos more than 6 months ago. Back then, we seemed to have more questions than we had answers. So I wanted to make this new video about this complicated subject with perhaps a more positive outlook on what's happened since. So today I wanted to ask, what can we expect in the future, and what can we learn from all of this? More importantly, today I wanted to talk about Taiwan's response to COVID-19, which from all accounts has been exemplary. I want to compare it to my home country, Canada's response, and see what we can figure out here. I'll start off by saying both countries have done extremely well comparatively to some other countries around the world. And in particular, it seems that Taiwan has truly succeeded on multiple fronts in tackling this pandemic, to the point where the rest of the world has taken notice and are now looking to Taiwan to see if there are ways in which they can emulate Taiwan's incredible achievements, not only in protecting its own citizens, but also in providing aid and guidance to the rest of the world during this trying time. So what can Canada and the rest of the world learn from Taiwan's response?
Good morning, Prime Minister. Brian Mullen, Global News. Taiwan has donated 500,000 surgical masks needed by Canadian healthcare workers on the front lines of the pandemic. Your foreign minister wouldn't thank the country by name. Will you?
I'm happy to thank Taiwan for its generous donation. It is important at this point that Canadians and all people around the world pull together to be there for each other, because this is a global challenge that is going to face a global response. We need to do this together, and we will.
So I'm proud of Canada, my country, my home. We have objectively one of the best healthcare systems in the world. I believe in our political system, I believe in our leaders, but that's not to say that we can't learn a lot from a country like Taiwan. As someone who lives in Taiwan, my experience over the last 10 months has been vastly different to that of my friends and family who are living back home in Canada. Back home, they've had to deal with almost continuous lockdowns. They've been working from home, schools have been closed, extreme social distancing measures are in place all across the country, and there's an overall uncertainty when it comes to Canadians' daily lives, and especially their future. In Taiwan, for the most part, I've not had that same experience at all. Sure, we're encouraged to follow proper sanitary and preventative measures, regularly washing our hands, using alcohol-based sanitizers, and wearing masks when indoors or using public transportation. But in general, my daily life in Taiwan has been largely unaffected. This is due, without a doubt, to the strict and decisive actions that Taiwan's leaders took immediately after learning about this SARS-like outbreak in Wuhan, China. I'm referring to the Taiwan model, which has not only proven to be successful, but is now being emulated in countries all across the globe. So I wanted to take this opportunity now to speak to my uncle, Gordon Davies, who works for the University of Toronto and who has spent lots of time both in Canada and in Taiwan over the years. And I wanted to get his insights on this complicated and nuanced subject. Hi Gordon, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you, Wes?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
Very good. It's Thanksgiving here in Canada.
Oh, of course. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much.
So how are things in Canada currently in regards to the COVID-19?
Right. Canada's a big country, so the situation varies according to the area. Some parts of Canada have very little COVID. Others, like Quebec, are doing worse than Toronto.
So in general, to what extent do you think people in Canada are actually following the safety procedures like wearing a mask or practicing social distancing?
Yeah, it's certainly better than some countries, and you and I can think of another country where it's not going so well.
Yeah.
Generally, as I move around, people are wearing their masks indoors in public spaces as we're asked to.
So to turn the attention onto Taiwan, because I'm making a video about sort of Canada's response versus Taiwan's response. So I'm curious what coverage, if any, has Taiwan received in the Canadian news cycle?
There's actually been a fair bit. Taiwan is held up as an example together with places like New Zealand for having been quick and drastic in their measures. The governments there, you know better than I do, decided early on that this was a serious issue and they instituted very strict measures. I've read in Canadian media that part of the reason is that the Taiwanese government never trusted the mainland Chinese government statistics from their long experience of dealing with the mainland Chinese. And what else has happened in the Canadian and the American media is that people are tying Taiwan's successful handling of the pandemic to its application to join the World Health Organization, which mainland China, of course, is blocking. And people are saying that Taiwan has been such an exemplary nation in dealing with COVID that it should be allowed to join the WHO so that the whole world can better share their knowledge and experience. And that it's unfair for the mainland Chinese, who have been less successful in blocking COVID, to prevent a more successful nation from joining that organization.
Yeah, it is a bit of a tricky subject, isn't it?
It's very tricky. Canada always tries to be a good intermediary. We like to think of ourselves as diplomatically balanced, but certainly in the Taiwan-China issue, it's becoming harder and harder to have a perfectly balanced public policy.
Do you think, knowing what we know now, 6 or 8 months after all this started, do you think there's anything Canada could sort of learn from Taiwan's response?
There's so much that Canada could learn from Taiwan's healthcare system. Taiwan jumped immediately into full online documentation to track outbreaks and to record medical histories and so on. They're way, way ahead of Canada.
Well, thanks so much for talking to me, Gordon. It's been amazing to see you again and talk to you again.
Good to see you. Again, have a really good holiday.
Thank you.
And I'll say hello to the rest of the family for you when I see them tomorrow. We're having a socially distanced Thanksgiving dinner.
That sounds great. I wish I could be there too.
Okay, you'll be there in spirit.
I will. Thank you for your insights.
You're very welcome. Bye now.
Bye.
But we're going to follow pretty closely the Taiwanese model.
There are countries like Taiwan who are exemplary.
האמצעי הזה נוסע בטייוואן.
In der Corona-Krise besonders bewiesen. Taiwan
is a very good example.
Taiwan's role as an observer in World Health Assembly meetings.
This truly is a test for our time, and there's no easy answers here. Obviously, cooperation between nations and transparency of information is imperative. Without a doubt, Taiwan's inclusion into the WHO and even the United Nations would be an incredible advantage for the global health community. In my opinion, political pressure from China shouldn't be what keeps the world from benefiting from Taiwan's knowledge and resources. Next, I would like to speak to my friend Raj, who I've known for almost 20 years. and he's working as a pharmacist in Canada on the front lines of this fight against the virus. Hey Raj, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Long time no see.
I know, man. It's been too long.
Way too long. Anyway, I just wanted to ask you a couple questions. I'm doing a video right now about Taiwan's COVID response versus Canada's COVID response. And you're a working pharmacist in Canada, and your wife is Taiwanese. So I thought maybe that you would have a unique perspective on the subject. I guess I just wanted to ask you, do you think there's anything that Canada could learn from Taiwan and possibly improve its own response?
Absolutely. So Canada's response has been one of the better responses in the Western world. Really, I think what we as Canadians can take away from Taiwan is, everybody has to do their part. Luckily in Canada, we have a really robust healthcare system that is working very hard. We've now got some pharmacies across the provinces that are doing COVID testing within the pharmacy to try and help increase the amount that we're testing, which is a good thing, but again, we don't have contact tracing to the same degree that they have in Taiwan. And that is a huge piece of the puzzle in order to help stopping the spread of the virus. It's something we can learn from the Taiwanese general public and the Taiwanese people, is that everybody worked together and banded together to try and get things under control. If anybody was sick, they would stay home, they would wear a mask, they wouldn't go out and infect other people. They understood from what had happened to them from SARS.
It is something that we can all come together and as a society and fix this.
That's the only way that we beat this. Is there's no partisan issue, there's no hidden agenda. We just have to do our part and get through it together. Really, everybody who's working on the front line has done a good job, but we've got a lot to do still.
Well, thanks for your insights, man, and thanks for your time. It was great to talk to you.
Anytime, buddy, and you guys stay safe out there.
Thanks, you too.
No one can isolate a friend who truly wants to help. As we seek to achieve health for all, Taiwan can help, and Taiwan is helping.
So I think Raj made a great point, that we're not going to get out of this until we can learn to come together. Fight this not country by country, but as a global community. From the beginning, Taiwan has understood this and has been doing the best it can to help other nations by sharing its insights, what it learned from the SARS outbreak in 2003, advising on how computers, contract tracing technology, and border control measures can really do wonders to help curb the spread of the virus. Perhaps most significantly, Taiwan has donated millions of PPEs and masks to nations all around the world who at the time were struggling to keep up with their own demand. These efforts undoubtedly saved countless lives, particularly those of the healthcare professionals who were battling on the front lines, who needed that equipment to continue this fight. Taiwan acted selflessly for the greater good of the entire human population, and its efforts have received more and more recognition from leaders around the world. Taiwan is a country who can help, who is helping, and who will continue to help. The Taiwan model works. No matter what the future holds for us, it's comforting to know that Taiwan is able and willing to assist in any way that it can. The world needs friends like Taiwan, and likewise, Taiwan needs friends around the world, because in moments like this, there are no politics. We're all in this together, and together, we can overcome even the greatest of odds.
The CPPL is delighted to be the first league in the world not only to hold games during the coronavirus pandemic, but to have all the fun of a real-life crowd.
After careful deliberations, health officials decided it was safe for as many as 1,000 fans to enter the stadium, contingent on many hygiene restrictions.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to my channel. And for more information about the Taiwan COVID-19 response model, please feel free to follow all the links that I'll post right down below. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Stay healthy and stay safe, everyone. Cheers.